Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Batocera version 3.6 demonstration. My first video has gathered over 100 views, which I'm pretty excited about. And so I figured I could make another video and show some additional things off that I've done to the Batocera installation here. So first off is set up these automatic collections, and basically it's favorites and achievements. And these are all the games that have retro achievements. So for different systems like the Super Nintendo, Master System, arcade, Super Game Boy, NES, what have you. And it's a good way to access the games that you want to play if you want to get some retro achievements. To do that, you basically go to the game collection settings and basically go to the automatic game collections and set up retro achievements. Check that box and you'll have the all your achievements will show up in that one spot. Added the Flash player, and I added some games. I'm not going to show them right now because I'm not too familiar with them, but the Batocera does accept Flash games and allow you to play Flash games. So I downloaded some. I don't know if they're any good or not. And another thing I did was add Daphine, which is it's a what do you call it? A video, like a video playing simulation. Laser discs, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And these were big in the 80s. I used to try to play these in the arcade, and I was always terrible at them, but I'll launch one here and demonstrate it. This is Dragon's Lair laser disc game.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the...
Whoops. Ah, see, I'm still not good at it. The problem is there's some lag with the input. Some input lag, basically, because I'm recording this on a cheap capture card, so I'm not gonna be able to demonstrate this. But this is the game, anyways. And there's quite a few Laserdisc games here. I'm not familiar with any of them except for Dragon's Lair, Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace. But there's a game called Cliffhanger, which looks like a Japanese anime game. Uses the same technology. I've never played it before, but interesting. Now, with my arcade emulation, I did a couple things. Number one, I updated all my MAME ROMs to 253, and because Batocera has 4 different versions of MAME on it, and the problem I was running into last time was I was running a different version of MAME than the ROM set that I had, and so some of the games wouldn't launch. I've corrected that, and I've also gotten rid of all the clones. So there's enough games here as is. With clones in the way, it really became overwhelming. So here's Afterburner. Yu Suzuki game. Anyways, so I got all that straightened out with my main installation. So basically, all the games, but just no clones, and it makes it a lot better. Easier to find games and less overwhelming. On the Final Bear Neo, I also got rid of the clones. So this is the same installation based on the 1.000 ROM set, but I got rid of the clones. So just parent ROMs in here now, which is the way it should be. I went over the Atari systems on my first video, so I'm not going to go over those again. Oozebox, this is another fantasy console for beginner coders or people that are just learning coding. They can basically code to the specifications, and you can create simple games on this system. Yeah, so let me just change one setting here. I noticed that where's the use file? I need to use the file names. One second, I gotta find that. Where is that setting? That's in a user interface. Here it is. Yeah, now that got better names. So yeah, these are pretty simple games, but still interesting. Astrocade, went over that. It's an old system, and it's cool to have there for reference, but you're not going to get a lot of enjoyment in playing these games, especially if you don't have any nostalgia towards them. It's pretty basic. See if I can load one of these up. I guess I tell it the score it wants. How do you shoot? I'm confused. Anyways, the Sufami Turbo, this is a Japanese system. That's a add-on to the Super Nintendo. I don't know what it does exactly. It might do improved graphics or something. I'm not sure what it does, but I know Bandai made it, and it was only sold in Japan, so I don't know much about it. The WonderSwan and WonderSwan Color systems, I basically added translations for these systems. So these, even though the system is the Japanese system and all the games are in Japanese, these games here are in English. So that's something new from. Let's see if I can boot one of these up. Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy II in the US. But that's in Japanese still. Might not be a complete English translation. What does it say? Anyways. Future Pinball. This is something new that I didn't show off the first time. Basically, it's a freeware platform that people can create pinball tables and play them. I can show you a table here. Let's see, what's a good one to show? We'll try the Twilight Zone. Now these take a while to load up. But it's pretty neat once you do have the game loaded. It's going to be difficult for me to demonstrate this because, again, the lag is so severe with the capture card that I will take a swing at the ball and it's actually already gone down the drain because I'm watching this on my computer monitor, not on the Steam Deck itself. So that's the reason. It looks like I suck at games so bad when I'm playing this. Actually, I'm not too bad at games. Anyways, that's Future Pinball. This is actually a Williams table, a very popular Williams table, and actually one of the better recreations that I've seen. It looks and plays really good. Yeah, no multi-ball. Let's see if I can get it this time. Oh, that should have went up.
Beyond this door is a dimension of space.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I think a ball came out and I missed it because the viewing angle that I was using.
Beyond this door is a dimension of sound.
Got two balls locked, so let's see if I can get the third one locked and insert them out. Nope. Not gonna happen this game. Oh, I have one more try. Oh, that's it. So that's the Twilight Zone. Future Pinball on the Steam Deck. And you see I added a bunch of tables here. These are all made by fans, and yeah, they vary in quality, but some of them are pretty damn good, as demonstrated with the Twilight Zone video there. There are also original tables. There are recreated tables and original tables, and I just have a couple original tables here, but they're interesting as well. ColecoVision, we went over this in the first video, and the Coleco Atom, and the PET, and the VIC-20, and the Commodore 64, and the Amiga. I don't think we went over the Amiga, but I can show that. I can show the Amiga off real quick. Let's try this Alien Breed. This is like a Doom clone. Oh, my controls are not set up right here. Yeah. Not that impressive. I just basically wanted to launch the game, show it works. Some of these computers, you need to do some additional configuration, but for the most part it's set up pretty good. That the emulators are set up to use the controls that the Steam Deck has, but some of these more obscure computers, they do need a little more configuration. The CD32, this is a failed console, basically based on Amiga hardware, and it's interesting, but yeah, not amazing. And also, there's not an amazing lineup of games here. That this is one of the best games, Zool, and it's okay, but you know, the other systems that were available in the U.S. were much better, in my opinion, at this time. But yeah, that's the Amiga CD32 and Zool on the Steam Deck. PDP-1. This is the first video game ever in 1962, running on mainframe hardware. I haven't been able to get it running right, but it's interesting. I need to look at that again sometime. Easy RPG. This is basically games that people they create an RPG maker and share them online. So it's all freeware fan-made games, and there's a bunch of them here. And I do want to dive into these someday, but I haven't looked into them too deeply thus far. The Mugen. This is a fighting engine that basically is a freeware fighting engine where people can, if they have skills, they can create fighter characters and put them in this engine, and it's pretty awesome. And some of the lineups and the rosters are just gigantic in these, with some games having over 900 playable characters, which is just insane. This one doesn't have nearly that many, but my buttons aren't set up, though. I know that I've actually... I know it's not going to work, but...
Round one, fight!
That's a Mugen. Ikemen is the same thing as Mugen, but it was ported with Google's Go code, and basically the big advantage of Ikemen over Mugen is that it allows for net play, so you can play these games online with your friends, and that's really cool because you cannot do that with a Mugen. You can't play online. But, I think this is really impressive. It looks great and it feels great, and so this is one of the better Mugen type games that I've come across. It's really good. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, this is really a fun one, and I'm going to be playing this more in the future for sure. This is called, by the way, it's called Street Fighter All Stars, and it's for the Ikemen fighting engine. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's the way it looks to me. But no one's ever said that word to me before, so I'm not sure. Trying to throw this guy. Uh-oh. Yeah, I lost that one. Anyways, that's Street Fighter All Stars, and I highly recommend that. Whether you have a Steam Deck or not, it plays on Windows, and Street Fighter All Stars, yeah, just really awesome. Let's see, Arcadia, this is an old system, really old, you know, with Intellivision style graphics. Good for reference. If you don't have nostalgia for it, there's not much of a reason to play these games. Adventure Vision, this is another old system with a Virtual Boy aesthetic. This is a red and black. Game Pocket Computer and the Super Cassette Vision. I've gone over these old systems in my first video, so if you're interested, check them out there. The Low-Res NX and the WASM 4. These are games that are coded to specifications. It's not real hardware. Well, one of these is, but The low-res NX is definitely not. And you can, if you're an aspiring coder, you can basically code to this platform and you know, make your own games. And this is just a demo. I don't even think they're shooting in this. It's a simple Wolfenstein 3D clone. Oh, that's enough of that. Wasm 4 is the same deal. Yeah, very simple games. Fujitsu FM7. This is a computer from the 80s in Japan. I don't think it was here. Pretty basic, but just boot one game up here and show it off. If the buttons are correct, which they're not. Well, they should be okay. Controls. Whoops. Port 1 controls. It's telling me to hit the X key. So this is one of the systems that needs additional configuration to show it off because the buttons aren't set up. FM Towns. This one is set up though, so let me demonstrate this. This is another. I don't know if this is a console or a computer. Might be some kind of hybrid between the two. But again, it was only released in Japan, and I don't have very much experience. It's interesting though that Electronic Arts was the publisher for some of these games here. Though we know EA from Madden series here and stuff, Battlefield, but it's interesting that they were involved in the 80s in the Japanese game market. I didn't know that. I forget the name of this game, but Sorcerer Striker or something like that. Oops, I thought that was the power up. Well, game over. Anyways, it's FM Towns and Mahu Daisukasen. I think it means Sorcerer Striker or something like that in English. But there was Super Street Fighter on the system, so I don't know how the port is, but that's a time frame, early 90s. Late 80s, early 90s. Super Can, don't know it, Japanese system. GP32 is a Korean handheld. Don't know much about it. Ardu Boy, this is another fantasy console that very simple graphics and basically meant for people to practice coding. Let's see if I can boot one of these up and show you. one interesting thing is they all have achievements, so yeah, this is really basic, but inflicted. Did I die? It's a RPG. It's like a turn-based RPG. Oh, I got an achievement. Shield get. Alright, I'm not gonna sit here and play this stupid game. But that's the Ardu Boy. Odyssey 2, Intellivision, v36. Those are all games that or systems that I showed off in the first video. MS-DOS, I added a collection of MS-DOS games. Pretty extensive collection. Just scroll here. You know, get the A's, B's, C's. I can find one that I can boot up for you here. What do I want to do? I'll try Corridor 7. This is a game. This basically runs. They're all zip files on my on the Steam Deck, and it's the core DOSBox Pure allows you to play these DOS games right out of the zip, which is awesome. No setup or anything. So this is basically using the original Doom engine. But it's a DOS game from early 90s. Oh, there we go. I died. Now, a lot of these DOS games require a keyboard really to use. I mean, there is an on-screen keyboard, but you don't need a real keyboard to play a lot of these older DOS games. But yeah, there's a ton of them, and like that point-and-click game, Day of the Tentacle. Defender of the Crown. This is an interesting game that I have experience with from my early days. I showed off the MSX and the MSX2 in the first video, but I've since added ROMs for MSX2 Plus and the MSX Turbo R, and yeah, I haven't messed with it too much. Don't know if it's working or not, but a lot of these games are multi-disc, so I don't want to sit there and put disc after disc in the emulator. So, but this is the level of graphics of the MSX Turbo R. Basically introduces scrolling and stuff like that, where earlier MSX iterations didn't have scrolling. They just had static screens. I showed off Windows games. They run good on the Steam Deck. I have a couple here, and they all run good. Xbox runs good. 360 does not run good. I actually haven't been able to find many 360 games that work. Because I think the Linux Xenia emulator doesn't have very good performance in Vulkan, and that's what Steam Deck uses. So, Triforce. This is the Nintendo Sega NEC or Nintendo Sega Namco system, and basically it was an arcade system that they had F-Zero and Mario Kart on, and it's pretty interesting. I know this particular one, the controls aren't set up, so I'm not going to demonstrate this one, but this is what it looks like. I added the PC88 and PC98. These are computers from Japan. They're pretty popular. They are made by NEC, and see if I can show one off here. Actually, I was messing with this last night. It's a RPG. No system files. What? I actually have I might not have saved actually. Let's see if I did. I'll just show the game what it looks like here. So this is a Japanese system, Japanese game, but it was translated in English. Now I have to add the disc here. So hold on, let me just put the disc in, and basically you go to disk control and RetroArch, load a new disk, and I think it asks for B. So that's how you change disks in RetroArch. You basically go to the menu, go to disk control, and then you can change that. So this is a RPG, tactical RPG, and it's you know, basically running off a diskette. So it's not a multimedia powerhouse, but still the graphics are okay for what it is. Kind of cutesy graphics, but I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, all this text basically originally was in Japanese, and it's basically been translated by fans. But here's the gameplay. Player one turn. Basically, you take your guys and move, and you can move within this you know, non-shaded out area. So I can move over here. Put him there. Take this guy. Move. Put him there. I can use this person too. Put them there. Now basically end turn, and now it's the computer's and that's how the game works. Basically you move your characters, attack or do whatever, use an item or whatever, and when you're done with your turn, the here's an attack sequence. Anyways, I think it's interesting. TurboGrafx 16. I basically added some more translations. So these are Japanese PC Engine games, PC Engine CD games that basically are in English. Super Graphics, went over that. PCFX, this is it's an interesting system. Super Nintendo level graphics, I guess. It was meant to be a competitor with the PlayStation and the Saturn, but it was woefully underpowered compared to those systems, and didn't do very well in Japan. Only a few games came out for it, so it's still interesting. Interesting piece of gaming history, but not. There are a few games here that actually have been translated into English. So, Fireland Story, it's the game that we were just playing, with upgraded graphics. Well, and some other games here. I don't know how text heavy these games were, but they have been translated, so. Game & Watch. This is pretty neat. These are the LCD games. Well, these were a type of LCD games that came out in the 80s. And basically see if I can start that over. Whoops. I'm terrible. The lag is causing me to fail on that. But yeah, these are the LED games that came out in the 80s. And some of them are widescreen. They're pretty... they're emulated pretty good here on the... here's hockey. Oh. So anyway, so LCD games from the 80s. There's some other LCD games on here as well, but this is the Game & Watch series, which is basically Nintendo's LCD games. With the NES, basically added all the aftermarket games. I don't know if it's all of them, but it's basically a couple aftermarket games that are available, and some unreleased games here, like the California Raisins or Heroes Quest. I think I showed these off in the first video. Some of these are interesting. I want to check them out more. I'm interested in NES games, and yeah, some of these look pretty good. Famicom Disk System. This is the NES. This is basically a disk drive for the Japanese NES, and I have some translations here, and some prototypes, and some hacks. Same with the Game Boy. All my ROMs are basically organized in that manner. Aftermarket, hacks, Japan, prototype, and translations. And then this is a 1G, 1R set. So 1G, 1R is one game, one ROM. So it's the best available of that game. So if the game was available in United States, Japan, and Europe, I have the US version. If it was available only in Japan and Europe, I'll have the Europe version because it's in English. And so it's basically one ROM for every one game. So the best version of that game. And that's the case with all these systems. The NES, the Famicom Disk System, the Game Boy. They're all 1G, 1R sets. MSU1 is the... this is basically... I'll just show it off real quick. This is CD audio for the... what's a good one to show off here? show off Super Mario, because that's people know the music from that. I think it improves the game quite a bit because CD audio adds a lot, adds quite a bit to the overall experience, I think. I don't know if you can hear that audio, but it's kind of low, but it's better than the music that can be produced on the SNES music chip. Oh, damn it. So yeah, all these games basically have soundtracks that have been updated. And this, of course, is Super Mario World. Oh, I did the same thing. Whoops. See, I don't know how good how loud the volume is going to be here on the video, because last time the volume was too loud on the audio and my voice was too low. I have a feeling that the audio is going to be too shit. I have a feeling the audio is going to be too low on this video, but oh well. Still figuring out this capture card system that I have here. Super Game Boy. Those are just GBA games that are played on the Super Nintendo with color palettes. So you can basically add shades of a color. This is the modem, Satellaview, a Japanese modem for the Super Nintendo. And you could do things like create your own or download tracks in F-Zero and the BS Super Mario Collection and Mario USA Power Challenge. These are the downloadable content for the Super Nintendo back in 1996. I got the Virtual Boy N64 with the 1G1R set, Game Boy Color, the 64DD. Now this is like a zip disk drive for the N64, and it will let you do things like be an artist in Mario Paint, or create your own F-Zero tracks and save them, stuff like that. So I don't really have that too much experience with the N64DD, but it's on here and emulated on the Batocera. We got the GameCube and Game Boy Advance, Pokemon Mini, Nintendo DS, the 1G1R set. We added a couple games here, like New Super Mario Brothers. Just demonstrate this real quick. It runs pretty good on the Steam Deck. I was messing with this yesterday for a little bit. Whoops. So this is the Wii system emulated on the Steam Deck. What else did I have to show? The Wii U, this also runs pretty good on the Steam Deck. Just have a couple small games here, but I'll demonstrate Mario 3D World. Even though I might have done that in my first video. I think I did. It's not booting up. Hang on one second. Well, I'm going to have to call my video short here because it looks like my Steam Deck has locked up. That's unfortunate. Oh well. It was a pleasure demonstrating this for you, and I'll catch you next time.